Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing this makeup look right here. It's a pretty fun summery makeup tutorial. I'm using a lot of brand new products, so a lot of the new Fenty Beauty summer collection, and also just some of my favorite products for summer, some products that I highly recommend using for summertime when it's hotter outside, and also just some fun colors and stuff like that. So if you want to see how I got this look, just keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe right down below, and if you want to stay up to date to every video that I post, make sure to turn on the post notifications, but I know sometimes they don't work, so if they're not working for you, you can always follow me on like Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, stuff like that, because I'm always posting when I post new videos. So let's go ahead and get into this look. For your brows, I would definitely recommend going with something that's water resistant for the summertime. So this is Benefit's Cabral, and I use the shade 4. It's really nice because you can take the brush right outside of the cap and then go into it. I'm able to create really nice, even brow strokes, very natural brow strokes, so it really works for any type of look that I'm creating. And I just take this with very, very light brow strokes. I just did a video more in depth on like my updated brow routine and just like my favorite brow products, so I'll link that down below for you guys if you want to see a more in-depth routine. I'm just going to the other side now, and I do the exact same thing, just creating really natural like hair strokes throughout the brow. And this one, for some reason, the front of my brow is like a lot more sparse than the other areas, so I have to do a lot more work to like fill this side in. I just go up with like flicking motions, and then I keep a spoolie on hand to go in and blend it out. I'm gonna take this brow gel from Benefit, and this is the 24-hour brow setter, so this will hold your brows in place all day long no matter what you're doing throughout the day, and it really helps to just like shape them and set them into place. So I take the spiky side of the product, or the spiky side of the applicator, and I just go ahead and brush through my brows, and this gives them really nice and neat and in the right shape. Then of course you want to always like carve out the brows underneath. Any concealer that you have on hand will work for this. You just want to take it on a brush that has sort of like a flattened end to it, and you want to go underneath the brow, right along the brow bone area, and carve that out. This was like the main product of inspiration for this entire makeup look. It's one of the new Dose of Colors Block Party eyeshadows, and this is the shade Teal Me More. It's so pretty, you guys. The formula on these is so pigmented and like buttery and But before we get into that specific eyeshadow, I'm gonna prime my eyelids with this Smashbox primer. This is the Smashbox 24-hour photo finish primer. Been liking this primer a lot. You guys know I'm so ride or die for the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, and like just in general primers like that are more, I guess, thick and creamy, but I've really been liking this one, and especially for summertime when you want things to be more lightweight because you don't want things to melt off your face. This is like a really nice one to go with. Alrighty, and then for these shadows, they're most pigmented when you pick them up with your finger and press them into the lid, but then what I usually like to do is do that and then blend it out with like a blending brush or a buffing brush or anything you want to call it. So I'm just gonna take my ring finger and dip it into the product, and then go directly onto the lid. The shade is so pretty. It almost has like reflex of blue in it, so it's honestly pretty wearable because sometimes teals can be a little hard to rock, you know, but this one's really nice. So then I just take that and use a blending brush to kind of go over the edges. You want to get that like dispersed look on the edges, so you know, to blend this product out, because it is so heavily pigmented, you are gonna sit here for a while, but it's gonna be worth it at the end. This is like the cutest summer palette. It's from Urban Decay, and it's called the Beach Eyeshadow Palette. I'm gonna take this shade right here that's called Daybreak out of this palette and just pop that right into the crease. Take this on a really light hand because I don't want to wipe away too much of the teal shade that we have going on, and I just kind of want to amp it up. And then you can take an even fluffier blending brush. This is one of my favorites to use. This is the MAC 224, and just kind of buff out all the edges right on the top. Then we just want to repeat that on the other side. So starting off with the finger application. I honestly feel like this look is pretty easy too for the summer, and it would be cute if you were going for like a night out and you just wanted to do something like a little bit more special, but still has that very summery vibe going on. Then I'm gonna actually dig into the Fenty Kilowatt Foil Highlighter, and this is from their new Beach Please collection for summer. And this is this really pretty one that's almost like an icy blue and almost like a muted bronzy taupe shade. And I'm gonna take this icy blue and just pop it right into the center to give like an extra pop of color. Ooh, icy. And then you can take your blending brush and kind of try to blend out those edges where we just put down that highlighter. I'm just gonna pop on a coat of mascara and then go straight into lashes. I like to apply the lash glue, then go back and add some mascara onto my lashes while the lash glue dries, because you do want to give it time to settle down and get a little tacky, you know. And I'm using House of Lashes Pixie Luxe Lashes today. These are nice because they're pretty like fluttery, I would say. And since we didn't apply any liner or wings, you want to make sure your lashes are as close to the lash band as possible, or your lash band is as close to your lashes as possible. And then you want to take a liner. So I'm taking one of my Makeup Forever Artist liners. This is in the shade Whatever Black, and I'm just going to tight line this area right here. Now moving back to the face, this is the primer that I'm going to be going in with. This is the Spotlight Illuminating Primer from Physicians Formula. This is such a good primer that is drugstore price. It's very affordable, but it gives you the most beautiful radiance. I just tried it out for the first time a couple days ago, and I was really impressed by just the look of the primer itself and how well it made my foundation apply. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of the L'Oreal True Match Lumi, but it's a little bit more lightweight and it doesn't give you any sort of white cast, because the L'Oreal one does give you a little bit of a white cast, honestly, even though I love that one too. But this one doesn't have that, and it's really pretty. So for summer, a lot of times for foundation, I'd recommend going like more on the lightweight side, just so that it can stay on your face a little better and like not cake up during the day, because when foundations start to cake up, that just means like it's a little bit either too matte, too drying, or too thick for the weather or for your skin type. So this is the one that I'm going to be using today. It's the MAC Face and Body Foundation, but this is like a special one that came with a new collection. I don't actually remember what the collection is called, unfortunately. I'm so sorry, but they come out with so many collections that it's honestly really hard for me to like stay up to date with every single one of them, even though I love MAC. But I will for sure link the products down below that are inside of this collection. Or if you don't have this, if you just have the normal face and body foundation, you could totally use that, because that's another really great lightweight foundation that's going to wear pretty well throughout the day. The reason why I wanted to use this one though is because it actually has a like pearl essence to it, so it gives you a really beautiful glow, but it does have that really lightweight feel. It's just already giving us such a nice highlight. Most people wouldn't think this about a MAC foundation, but it's honestly very lightweight. It's probably one of the lightest weight foundations that I have that's not a CC cream, so it's a really good one. And you can still see like that it looks like skin, like it doesn't look like you've caked on a bunch of makeup. But if you do have like little spots, like I have some acne scarring here that I want to cover, you can go back in with a concealer and do that step. So I am gonna do that with, where is my Tarte Shape Tape? This guy right here, the Tarte Shape Tape, and this is the shade Medium. And I'm just gonna go right over those blemishes. But I'm gonna be using a different concealer for underneath the eyes today, actually. So you just wanna pat over those, get a nice blend going. This is a little lighter than my foundation today. As long as you blend out the edges, it should be okay. I'm actually gonna be using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Macadamia, and I'm just placing that underneath the eyes as well as down the middle of the face. And then you just wanna press that into the skin to get the fullest coverage possible, since we did use a lighter weight foundation. If you can see here, I tried to like kind of clean up the eyeshadow line with my concealer so that it looks a little more sharp and precise. And we're gonna add on my favorite cream contour, the Lancome stick, and today I'm going to bring it a little bit more forward, as you can see, because we're going to blend it onto the apples of the cheeks to kind of create a little bit more of a flushed bronze. So you want to always blend this product upwards so that you're dispersing the product and lifting the face up. Next up, I'm going to be highlighting the face with the Mary Luminizer liquid highlighter. So this is kind of like the sister of the Mary Luminizer. It's the same shade, it's just in a liquid form, and it's really easy to apply because it has this applicator on it. You can swipe a little onto your cheek, onto the temples of the forehead, and again, you want to blend it upwards towards the temples so that we really get that uplifted sort of look. You just want to bake really lightly with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I basically take that powder and continue to press it into the skin, and I feel like when you do this with your beauty blender, it almost makes the powder even more like an armor, and it really gets it into your pores so that it creates a nice flat layer underneath the eyes. And I really only bake underneath the eyes, and I do bring it down to the smile lines because those are really the only places that like I tend to crease, and I don't want to add too much powder on since we want to keep the look like relatively on the lightweight side. Alrighty, next up, I'm gonna go in and lightly bronze up the face, and I'm gonna be using this powder from MAC Cosmetics. It's from that same new collection that they just came out with. I really, really like this packaging. This is the shade Golden Rinse of the Extra Dimension Bronzing Powder. This powder has almost like a silky formula to it, so it just glides onto the skin really, really easily, and especially when you apply it with a light hand, you can get that very effortless looking sun-kissed bronze. Might add on a little bit of Give Me Sun just to get it a little darker. And one of my favorite products for summer actually, and this is something that like I've used every summer for the past few summers, is Gold Deposit from MAC Cosmetics. So this is actually a highlighter that is for deeper skin tones, but for my skin tone, I really like it as almost just like an all over glow. And I think that this could be used also for deeper skin tones to achieve the same sort of thing. If you have a lighter skin tone or a more fair skin tone, I would probably go with like a lighter shade, but I really like to just sweep this onto the edges of the face, kind of where we placed our bronzer, but with an even lighter hand just to give that like all over glow from within. Then I'm gonna go back into the Fenty Beauty highlighter and use that same shade called Minted Mojito, and I'm gonna take that onto the Fenty Beauty highlight brush, which I've recently started to love. After I learned how to use it, I can't put it down now. It's really, really nice. So I sweep the product onto the cheekbones really lightly. I do try to apply it towards the hairline in an upward motion to again give that very like uplifted sort of cat eye shape. The shade is really pretty because it's like different, has that blue in it, but it's still pretty wearable actually. And it is a really nice like summery shade. And I'm just gonna pop on any blush that I have on hand. MAC Melba is actually the one that I was going to use, but I forgot it when I came to the studio today. So today I'm using Too Faced Love Flush Baby Love, which is another one of my favorite neutral blushes. And this one is really long wearing, so if you're gonna be out all day, it's a good one to go for. And then I kind of want to brighten up the eyes just a little bit, so I'm gonna take my Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Unlimited Blue. Wow, it matches the background perfectly. And I'm gonna pop that right into this waterline. And honestly, I don't think we're gonna do too much else to the bottom lash line because I do wanna keep it a little bit more blank than I usually would. So we're not really smoking it out, but I am just gonna take a Dose of Colors pencil brush and go in and blend out the edges just so it's not like a harsh line. And then we're gonna go straight in with a coat of mascara. The Makeup Forever pencils that I've been using are really cool because you can use them for anything. You can use them on the face, on the eyes, or on the lips. So I'm also gonna use one of these for my lip liner, and I think I'm gonna go with this one, Up and Down Tan. Just taking that right along the edges here. And I feel like a lot of it is honestly taking your time when it comes to lip liner, because if you make one mistake, if you make one wrong move, you're done. And you can also fill in your lips with this color. And then if you want to make it really precise, you can go back in with, I actually don't put anything on the brush. I just use the brush that I use for my brows. And I go back in and kind of just tighten up the edges a little bit. And then I definitely wanted to use one of the new Summer Days Iridescent Lip Luminizers from Fenty as part of her summer collection. So I think I'm gonna actually go with this fun shade over here. Why not? This formula is really nice. It's like really lightweight. When you feel it, it's not sticky at all. It just kind of sits on top of the skin, or on top of the lips, I should say. And it has a nice like iridescence to it. It's not like opaque at all. It's not gonna be like this very out there lip color, honestly. It's like, it's pretty wearable. And then for setting spray, I'm using the MAC Cosmetics Fix Plus Gold Light. So this one does have, if you can see, some like gold running through it. It's actually really pretty. I don't know if you could see it though. I haven't decided yet if I feel like this actually makes my skin look more glowy or not, but I just like it, you know? I just like the fact that there's gold flecks in here. I also wanted to go in with the new MAC Strobe body lotion while we wait for our setting spray to dry. So this is in the shade Opalite. It has like a little bit of a pink undertone, which I was a little worried about, but when you apply it to the skin, it's actually really beautiful. Like, it doesn't look pink, it just looks kind of like a sheen, you know, a wet sheen. I hope you liked this summer makeup tutorial. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe right down below, and let me know what you guys want to see coming up this summer. I thought this was like a nice one to kick off like summer makeup because it's fun, but it's still wearable and it's still summery. So there you go. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you next time.